What's up, guys? It's John Hamilton here with Sports Lounge Media, and we're here to talk about futures, traveling, and how it can affect your betting and parlays. We're going to jump right into it, but first, I want to start off by saying bet responsibly. If you have any issues, always call 1-800-GAMBLERS. They're there to help you out and walk you through the process of making sure that you're not putting yourself in any sort of debt or any issues with mental health as well. Guys, as always, there is no guarantee with betting. This is just to be for fun and advice and fun to talk about on our topics here at Sports Lounge Media. Thank you guys at Sports Lounge Media for having us here at SLM Bets on Mondays, and let's dive right into it. So we're going to be talking about a little bit about what we did the following 2 weeks ago into this show right here. This is going to be a lot more to do about how certain dynamics of the schedule can actually play factors into the betting and how odds change throughout the season. Jumping into it, though, I am going to be giving you guys a little bit about what I'm looking at as far as we're talking about futures, bets, and props. So let's just move into the big screen here. All right. So right here, we have kind of what we talked about from 2 weeks ago, our division winners. We had the Bills, the Bengals, the Jags, the Chiefs, Eagles, Bears, Panthers, Niners. If you guys remember, those odds changed drastically due to some countermeasures of the schedule being released and where teams are going to be playing. The Niners are going to be the most traveled team next year with 38,000 miles. They have 2 international games that they're playing against the Rams in the head opener in Australia, and then they also in their midseason play in Mexico City. So a lot of travel for them, and this is something to take into account. With being the most traveled, you are also really depending on your players staying healthy during this time, especially with short weeks being a primetime game on Monday, then following back, you're going to be playing on a Saturday's game internationally. So a very short rest week and a lot to prepare in a short amount of time for the week ahead for that particular matchup that they're going to have. They also have some interesting matchups coming up on the way for the last 5 games that we'll talk about here shortly. But the odds jumped from a plus 516,000 to a 526,000 for all the odds of the teams that we picked out. And I wanted to leave it here because it's $100 paid out $500,000, right? And obviously this is really hard to pick 8 division winners accurately, but it's plausible, right? So this jumped up another $100,000 essentially just because Niners have more of a travel. The Panthers are going to have a rougher schedule than we thought. Bears have the hardest schedule in the league, so they jumped up quite a bit. There's a lot of teams of what we're looking at right now that I think that they're going to probably be pretty similar to what we have. I think the Bills definitely take that dub. I think the Bengals definitely have a good shot. Chiefs possibly. I think Broncos are definitely the team to beat in that division. But this is just something for fun to take a look at, right? Okay, so I'm going to clear this for now. We're going to take a look and see since the odds and schedules have favored, we know who's playing who, we know when the games are being played and where they're going to be played. Now we can get a good consensus of, do we think these teams are going to win more or less? And the nice thing about this is that they can change quite drastically. So we have the Baltimore Ravens season wins. Do we have them over or under? Now, if you take a look at the Ravens matchups and who they have, like, let's easily just pop this up really quick here for you. And this is going to be the big deciding factor of like where you're going to put your money, right? Futures are some of the best way to win parlays and also single money line bets. So Ravens schedule for 2026. And this is kind of just something really, really easy to take a look at. You guys can Google the information for each team, and then you guys can base off what you think. So they have the Colts. Colts did pretty good last year. Anthony Richardson really popped off and then kind of tapered off towards the end of the season. They also had trouble in the quarterback room. Season opener game, new head coach for Baltimore. There's just a lot of components on both sides of the ball, but I would favor the personnel that they have right now on the Ravens. I'd have that as a dub, right? So you're already counting one. They have Cowboys. Cowboys are going to be pretty tough this year. Falcons, I'd have that as a dub. The Bengals is a toss-up game. That's also a division game. You can never count out division games. Anyone can win in their division. They play each other frequently. They have very similar playbook styles and defensive schemes. They typically play a lot more press man and cover 2. Jags, we'll see. Like a lot of these teams are rough. Like there's no guarantee that I see so far. We have the Panthers, then immediately you're going to be going into a bye week later in the season. Jumping into the Saints, which sure, Titans sure, Browns sure, Bills, Chargers, Texans, tough defenses already. Then you have the Bucks, then the Browns, and then the Steelers, right? So like the last one, date 2 to be determined. So I don't know. Just sitting here on the Ravens, I mean, out of 32 teams, right? I really feel comfortable going on the under on this. And so does Vegas. Vegas is favoring the under on 140. So the over is a plus 115. You make more money when you bet the pluses. You make less when you bet the one. So I'll give you an example that you can see on the screen. If I were to put 100 in here, it's going to pay out 170, 142. But if I were to bet that they were going to go over, which is to me very unlikely with all the changes that they've done in coaching staff, I'm going to put in 100. 100 pays out 215. But I feel comfortable placing my money on the under. Next is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Same thing. We can run through their schedule. There's a lot changing. When Vegas gives out what I call like a teasing bet, and I know that means something completely different, but that's what I call it, a teasing bet, meaning 9.5. It's right in that middle of the road where they could do good or they could do bad. I stay away from that completely. Over 6.5. I actually do think the Browns are going to have a winning season. I'm going to put the Browns at an over on this. And then what's fun is you can actually declick that and you can put them at over 5.5 games won. So I'm actually going to stick with that. I'm going to do 5.5. I'm going to put 100. And since it's a parlay, or right now it isn't allowing you to parlay. So you want to just bet the straight up. So take a look at the offers of what they're doing right now. So we have the under right now on Ravens. You make $70 on that. You just put a single money line bet. If we have the Bengals is also a tricky one. Remember, for me, I kind of stay away from that. And you can actually break down into the odds. So if the Bengals go over 11 games, that's a huge payout. It's a plus 215. So you're going to be making $315 on a $100 bet. AFC East is going to be another one. AFC East is going to be interesting because the Jets got good pieces, but they have Geno Smith coming. And I honestly don't know if they break over 5 games. Yes, Brees Hall's good. But again, like they're just a disaster. They're a more perfect version a less perfect version of the Patriots, in my opinion. Patriots just have really good pieces. I just don't think they're all the way there yet. Regular season Bills, I definitely have them going over 10.5. I think that's a solid one to pick. Patriots, I don't know. Again, and Vegas doesn't know. Like 9.5, they clearly have the Bills winning this division. That's the payout odds on that one. AFC South is going to be tough. You got the Texans. You have the Colts. You have the Titans. And the Titans is one that I think that will win over 6.5 because – and Vegas is pretty split on that too. Robert Saleh being one of the best defensive coordinators with the Niners and now moving to head coach position with the Tennessee Titans, I think that they have a good chance. I think he can help develop Cam Ward to be a little bit better in that quarterback pocket, and we'll see. But definitely the Jags over 8.5. I like that a lot. AFC West, this is a big division. Broncos over 9.5, Chiefs over 10.5. So they clearly have the Chiefs taking the division. Chiefs over 10.5 isn't crazy, but you have to remember they're also playing now 3 legitimate teams. I mean, the Raiders actually have a good quarterback. They have great tight end, good edge rush, good running back, good wide receivers. They're starting to get the pieces. Let's see if they can buckle down and actually get some dubs under their season. Bears have the hardest schedule in the league right now, which is crazy. Roger Goodell, I don't know if he likes the Bears or not, but there's a lot of speculation of why the Bears get the short end of the stick. Bears being over 9.5, I have them winning the division, but with that schedule, man, I don't know. Detroit Lions over 10.5, I don't see it happening. I don't see the Packers going over 10.5. Vikings, I definitely don't see it going over. So, I mean, you could bet under on a few of these. You just want to make sure that not only do you feel it, you do your own research. We're already so far away from the season that these are going to change drastically with trades, free agency pickups, contract agreements, people getting hurt, people getting sick. You know, there's just a lot that goes into it. So look at the Giants. Giants were on a roll last year, and then now the Giants are going to be getting Cam back and Jackson Dart, but they both got hurt last year, and that changed the outcome of their season. So Eagles over 10.5. I don't know. I don't think Eagles go over 10.5. Giants, I do think go over 7.5 wins. I think they find a way to get 8 or 9 wins this season. I think that's actually that's a good bet. The 110 on that. And then not only that, you have all the breakdowns of each, like Commanders going over 7.5. Not in that division. I don't know. We'll see. But NFC South breakdown, you got Atlanta, Carolina, Saints, and Bucks. They have the Bucks absolutely favored in that. Going over, it's a possibility, but without Mike Evans and really relying on Emeka Egbuka, you're talking about a lot of components to happen correctly for Baker Mayfield for them to really win. Now, this is the toughest division to pick, right? You have the Cardinals, obviously, probably not going to get over that 4.5. 3.5, sure, yeah. I mean, I could see that if they have Carson Beck as their quarterback. Kyler Murray's out of there. A lot of things are changing. The Rams, the Niners, and the Seahawks are all at 10.5. Not all of these are going to get over 10. This is a tough one. You can even bump these up to like 12, 12, and 12 and look at the odds. And then you can just put under, right? So they really have the Niners favored to go around in that 10 to 11 game range. If you click that, I mean, that's right in that realm. Even at a plus 200 for 11.5 games, it's pretty wild. So over, they're really favoring them over that 9.5 win streak. Now, Seattle Seahawks, similar thing, right? I mean, what are they going to do with no running back room? This is just a huge year of different momentum pieces for a lot of teams. And you can pick on a few things. You could do most wins. That's actually interesting. I think most wins would be a fun one to do if you had like, just 20, 30 bucks to throw around. You pick a team that you like, that you think is going to do really good. I really do have a feeling that the Jags, the Broncos, the Niners, and the Eagles might be up there. You can do fewest wins. Fewest wins is always a fun one to do. I think the Cardinals might surprise people a little bit. I think the Jets get the fewest wins. I really do. I think the Jets. I mean, the Cardinals play in a much tougher division, but I think the Jets get it. So look, it's at 850. You throw in 100, you pay out 950. It's a single bet, and it's a pretty safe team to not get a lot of wins. I think Miami does pull off some stuff this year. They have Devon Achane unless he gets moved or traded, but. And then 0-17. Will there be an 0-17 team? I mean, that's fun, right? $10, put it on there, it pays out $100. Can't go wrong with that. Probably won't happen because remember, if it's a tie, that also will count against you as well. You can do player futures. This is a lot of fun. And there's one in particular that I want to talk about, which is actually my team, the 49ers. Will Brock Purdy, and this actually changed recently because they had it at 4,100. So a lot of people are betting that it will go under. Now we're kind of stuck at that 37.99.5 mark. Will Brock Purdy pass for more than basically 3,800 yards this season? And the biggest question of all is he going to stay healthy? Will he stay healthy? That's the biggest deciding factor, because if he stays healthy, 100%. He's got an insane wide receiver, probably the best that he's had of his career. And it's going to be people that aren't going to be prima donna in the locker room and that aren't going to have an ego carrying into it. And they're going to be really focused on trying to develop that season to be something that's beneficial for them to have a long run into the playoffs. I would have Brock Purdy going over if he stays healthy, but it's also safe to say there's some inconsistencies with that, and you could bet on the under. Sam Darnold to have over or under? I think he has under, and Vegas does too. Trying to throw 3,800 yards in a single season is a very difficult thing to do. There's been very few quarterbacks that have been able to do it on a consistent basis. I think Dak Prescott throws under this year of the 4,000. That's probably a safe one. Jaden Daniels, that's a tough room right there. Bo Nix, he's right around that threshold. Lamar Jackson, is he going to throw the ball more in the pocket since he got hurt? Is he going to run the ball? We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think Justin Herbert actually is going to have a really good season. I think he's going to throw over the 35-74 that they have him at. A safe one is Jalen Hurts, typically under, but they have him kind of at a threshold of 32.50. I think he's getting older and he's not running the ball as much. And I think that he's going to have to start learning how to pass in the pocket more, which with the new wide receiver they got, Lemon, is going to probably help his game out quite a bit. So we'll see. Fernando Mendoza. Now, this is an interesting one. I feel like 2,500 yards isn't that bad, but it's a rookie quarterback with a good attitude that's coming into the league. Could be splitting reps with Kirk Cousins. That one I probably would stay away from. I think that's like a testy little bet there that they got from Vegas. And then you have all of these right here. I think Mike Evans gets the under right here. And all these futures are just going to add up, right? Like if you keep stacking, they're not parlayable, then you just money line this. You just stack your cash, right? Because as soon as it hits, you're getting paid out. Awards, you can even do awards. You can do fast futures. You can even do playoffs at this time. So you can do the miss of playoffs. That's a lot of fun. And these ones are parlayable. So you can do the Cardinals, you can do the Dolphins, the Jets. I'm going to say the Titans miss, the Browns miss, Commanders miss, Vikings miss. Who else misses, guys? I just don't see the Packers getting in. I think the Texans are going to struggle. Falcons, Raiders, they have too tough at a division. So $100 pays out $27.86. I feel like that's pretty safe right there. People would probably say not the Packers, but I don't know. So you can break it down, right? And this isn't something that I'm even going to bet on. This is just an example for you guys, but this is basically just kind of walking through everything and showing you guys how like your futures are bettable right now. This is a really good way to like out of sight, out of mind type betting. You're not there sweating it right now because like you're going to forget about it. It's going to be there and then you're going to get a paycheck in your app or wherever you bet. And you'll be like, oh, I totally forgot about this. I actually had a ticket that I won on. I bet $100 and it paid out like $1,000 or something like that for 8-pick parlay for teams in week 1. And I picked correct on 8 teams. But I didn't know until the end of the season. I had a buddy come over and we went to cash our tickets in to see if any of them won. And one of them was a big winner. So I thought that was pretty cool to find out. And, it's one of those things, out of sight, out of mind, right? But again, you can pick your teams. So like if you take out Packers, you take out Texans, right? It's going to drop your odds immensely. It's going to bring it down to 483. And all these teams, I feel like it's pretty safe for them not to make it. The only one that would worry me a little bit would probably be the Falcons. But I don't know. I have to do my research and then I'll have again, if you guys want my exact bets and you guys want to follow me, I was 80+% on my win percentages for money lines and parlays the last 3 years. And if you guys want that experience, you guys have to go to sportsloungemedia.com, and sportsloungemedia.com is going to be able to give you all the information that I'm doing exactly on my bets, how to bet, when to bet. And if you follow me for the entire season, if you do for one, nothing's guaranteed, but the winning comes the longer you follow. And that is kind of my specialty. I put you in the right direction. Don't do anything you're not uncomfortable with. But I think for the small subscription fee that we're starting out here next month, it's definitely going to be beneficial for you, because that way you're not listening to all these people on social media. You're getting professional advice from a professional that's been doing this for a long time, that's played the sport at a high level, and that knows these players pretty well. And you're going to be seeing it, come across analytically to you in your pockets. So it's a lot of fun. And hopefully with this season, we have a really good season. Last season, when there was a lot of upsets, but even with the upsets, I was still at 81.3 or something like that, which is really, really good. So Vegas, I think, finished at like 70.8% in wins. So for them, that's a huge margin. But yeah, that's what we want. We want to try to win so Vegas doesn't win, right? That's the whole thing with this. Okay. So as always, guys, if you have any questions, concerns, if you guys ever want to follow any fantasy advice, or if you guys want to do any more content, we stream every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's a lot of great shorts. There's a lot of good information. You can go on to all of our accounts. So please, by all means, look into it. Check our website out. We have a lot of great stuff coming. You're going to want to jump in now before it's too late, because it's going to take off soon. And we want you guys to be a part of it early so you understand who we are. And hopefully one day you guys will be able to get to meet us. We get some wins in your pocket and you guys will enjoy it. Remember, don't bet bias based off of your team. That's not smart. You want to bet smart to win good. And this is the way to do it. All right. As always, guys, I'm John Hamilton with Sports Launch Media. I run SLM Bets on Mondays. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to reach out. And I appreciate you guys stopping by. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful